Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Thriving Talks and Anthony. Today we're going to have an insightful conversation. For those that are new to the channel, we make mental health conversations and content that's going to be beneficial to your personal development in addition to your well-being, right? In today's conversation, we're going to be talking about how to build resilience in the face of adversity, right? So I want to be able to help you gain the tools and techniques to recover from setbacks, manage stress, in addition to strengthen your emotional resilience as you're navigating through difficult challenges, right? So this is going to help you thrive even in, like I said, those challenging circumstances that may arise, right? So stick with me, we're gonna grow through the process, right? So introduction, we're gonna just dive right into is gonna be balancing back is a skill, right? So life doesn't always go as planned. You know, there's setbacks, there's failures, and there's losses that are part of life's experiences as a human, right? But resilience isn't about avoiding the struggle. It's about learning how to bounce back stronger, how we can improve, how we can look at things with a more rational mindset, right? And we can, grow within that skill. So please stick with me. Like I said, we're going to grow through this. So our first key point, we're going to be talking about resilience, which is the ability to recover and adapt in the face of stress or adversity, right? So as things are coming our way, family. One thing I made a video about is grief and loss. So when someone passes away, how do we deal with those emotions? You know what I mean? We go through a breakup. You know what I mean? Something always is gonna occur. Life's not Candyland, as I've always expressed. So I really think it's really important for us to have that resilience, so we're able to know how to, how we gonna get through these situations, right? Another key point is it's not about being unshakable, like being this, this statue, being Superman, or trying to transcend into something else. It's about being flexible and persistent, right? So just being able to understand, things happen. Am I able to adjust, right? And then just kind of being persistent. Am I willing to kind of, put the effort to kind of grow through whatever the circumstances is, So when it comes to research insight provides that resilience is associated with better mental health outcomes, reduced stress, and higher life satisfaction, right? So I really want us to take in consideration, because I want everybody to prosper, I want everybody to grow, I want everybody to feel adequate as they're navigating through life situations, with that, positive mindset for resilience. First segment, we'll be talking about, what resilience really means, right? And our first key point is, not the absence of pain or failure, right? So it's not about, falling down. Like I said, you could be able to get back up. It involves emotional regulation, problem solving, and optimism. Like I said, you have to be able to be open-minded, right? You got to be willing to be able to adapt into the circumstances that, may be arising. Problem solving, be thinking positively, try to navigate and just be able to just keep yourself calm. That's why I always advocate for journaling. I always advocate for mindfulness. I always advocate for self-care, because you need to be able to keep yourself relaxed and maintain a peace of mind to be able to navigate through these difficult situations, right? We're much stronger when we're more rational, when we're able to be calm, then we're able to just kind of just be unrational, just acting off impulse. So we have to really just, like I said, try your best to take these things in consideration, because it will help you down the line. Resilient people bend without breaking. They adapt, they learn, they grow. I'll say that again. They adapt, they learn, they grow. So I want you to kind of have, like I said, that optimistic mindset, and they're willing to be able to learn and grow throughout the process of life in various situations and circumstances that we may arise to. When it comes to research insights, the ordinary magic of resilience lies in everyday coping strategies, not Superman strength. Like I said, this is not about you becoming a superhero or transcending into something else. We're a human being, right? We fall down, we make mistakes, we fail, these different things. At the end of the day, we still have the ability to succeed. We still have the ability to improve. So it's all about the growth, and I really want you to take that in consideration. So it's not about being magical. It's about focusing on coping strategies and building our skills. That's why personal development is very important. Our second segment we're going to be talking about is why some struggle more than others, right? I just want to say off the rip, focus on yourself, stay in your lane, worry about what you got going on. Everybody's different. There's cultural, other factors and things that play into, people's situations. I also want to mention this, medications. When you're working with people that have chronic mental health, you may not realize it, but some people are misdiagnosed, right? So they're out there walking and just dealing with their circumstances. And like I said, that medication word, because some people are just managing, their medication to keep up with their health, and all these things impact the way that they're able to function. So I really want us to take in consideration of our personal development, worrying about what we have going on, because everybody's situation is different. So let's pull it back to our key points. Early life experiences support systems and coping skills shape resilience, right? So the way that we, early stages of life impact, how we navigate stress, trauma, or isolation can weaken our ability to cope. I want to take that into consideration. But resilience is not fixed. It can be learned. It can be strengthened at any stage of life. So I don't want you to say that you're too old or you're too young or da-da-da-da. Like, don't make an excuse. You know what I mean? Life is precious. Time is precious. We all can improve. So I really want to take this in consideration, right? When it comes to research insights, protective factors like social supports and optimism, having an open mindset, buffer the negative effects of stress, right? So we're able to have a support system. We're able to have positive people around us. We're able to kind of be open-minded, have that positive mindset to help things shift. And overall, that's going to help us reduce that anxiety, break that stress, and take us away from that depression. And try your best to not isolate yourself. That can help. Our next segment we're going to dive right into is going to be practical strategies to build resilience, right? So number one, off the rip, we're going to be talking about reframe challenges. So like I said, you want to be able to shift that mindset from why me to what can I learn from this, right? So like I said, we want to have that growth mindset. The growth mindset is going to allow us to transcend into, that positivity. What ways can I improve? How can I grow? How can I learn, right? Then kind of just self-sabotaging and just having negativity kind of just keep us stagnant, right? So I really want us to reframe, write these things down, which could really be helpful. Number two is going to be strengthen social connections, right? So you want to learn from supportive relationships, friends, mentors, and groups. I really want you guys to really try to put yourself out there in a positive sense, right? So look for mentors, seek a therapist if possible, you know what I mean? A career coach, a health coach, like really strengthen those connections. Try to improve in every aspect of your life if possible. Whatever you put out there is whatever you're gonna get. So, make it a good one. Number three, good morning.
Good morning, how are we doing?
Good. Number three is going to be practice self-care, right? So you want to rest, you want to, focus on that nutrition and mindfulness, like I said, to be able to give yourself that recharge and help your capabilities, handle that stress better when you're able to, focus on that self-care. Number four is going to be cultivate optimism. Like I said, focus on what you can, what you can control, what's on your plate, and whatever is not, let it go, right? So just try your best to, like I said, do what you can control, what's in your bandwidth, and that can really help you out a lot. Number five is going to be set small, achievable goals, right? Make things more manageable for yourself. Break things into manageable challenges, so little steps, so it's able to help you, work up to the end goal where you're trying to get to. In regards to some research insight, mindfulness and cognitive reframing have been shown to increase resilience and reduce psychological distress, right? So when we focus on mindfulness, we're doing deep breathing exercises, we're going into conducive environments, we're able to be, solitude, for instance, like focusing on ourselves, allowing our mind to reset is going to really help us recharge and focus on what we got going on, that self-awareness, to help us navigate through our resilience and whatever we're experiencing within our own journey. So I really want us to take in consideration of self-love and that self-care. Fourth segment, we're going to talk about real life applications. Like I said, there's different situations and how things arise, and I'm provide some examples today. So life, in regards to a job loss, right? So this may feel like the end. You want to reframe it to a positive. This is the opportunity to pivot and explore a new path, right? For instance, for me, this happened to me, you know what I mean? Things happen. But at the end of the day, I was able to, take that self-correction, look at myself, look at the pros and cons, look at my resume, look at the growth, look at the person I have became, look at the skills, you know what I mean? And you realize this is the opportunity for me to put myself into a better role and be a better person and be more self-aware. So look at this with the growth mindset. Next example is relationship conflict. So instead of withdrawing back, use communication and empathy to rebuild, right?
Would you like the
could be
roasted sandwich?
Sure.
There's sausage, egg, and cheese, or bacon, egg, and cheese.
I'll take the bacon.
There you go.
I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
The next one is going to be personal failure, right? So replace shame with curiosity. what went wrong, and how can you improve the next time. Like I said, you really want to focus on a growth mindset, focus on what you could do to improve, and grow and grow and grow. And that other stuff that's negative, let that be. Whatever had happened, it happened. What can we do to move what forward? A prompt that I want to ask you guys is, what's one challenge that you faced recently, and how might resilience help you to reframe it as so that growth, right? So pause if necessary, but I really want you to think about ways where we can, facilitate moving our mind forward to a more positive mindset. Our fifth segment we're going to dive right into is going to be when adversity feels overwhelming. You know what I mean? When things are just, you feel me? It's getting a little chaotic around me. Key point number one is, it's okay to struggle. Resilience doesn't mean it's going to be, we're going to be alone. So I want us to take that in consideration. Professional help's out there. So therapy, support groups, and, coping skills and strategies are out there for us to be able to manage these things. We're not alone. So I want us to understand that it's okay to, to struggle, but we're not alone. And I always want us to remember too that resilience is built over time, not overnight, right? So anything that's good takes time. And the more time we invest into ourselves, the stronger, the more powerful, and the more things we're going to be able to recognize in ourselves. I want us to realize, because we spend so much time working and going out and providing exceptional service to people. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. And I find that we don't really give that to ourselves. So I really want us to spend this time, this resilience, right? To be able to give ourselves the time back, the love back. So we're able to be stronger than ever, to be able to get where we need to be. When it comes to research insights, seeking help when needed is a core part, right? An aspect of resilience and coping. I put my hand up. For me to be the person I am right now, to be able to provide this value to you, I had to invest into myself. I got myself a therapist, I believe in 2023. And that lady changed my life, you heard? And I seen the female too. Like, there's so many bias and so many things that we hear in society. The female, what she do? Like, listen, these people are professionals. You can choose, you know what I mean? Someone that is catered for you, that you feel comfortable with, and you're able to grow in that process. So I really want us to do things that are going to be beneficial to you. And I say that because I want you to get to where you need to be. So like I said, once again, seeking help is a needed core part of that resilient coping. In regards to moving things forward, I want to be able to address that your strength is the comeback, right? So resilience doesn't mean that you erase the pain. It allows you to help you to recognize these things for you to rise again, right? So every setback that you overcome becomes proof of your strength. Remember that your story isn't defined by what broke you. It's about how you can rebuild, right? So we always can improve. We always could change. We always can, rise up and move forward from regardless of what any situation throws at us or whatever we go through. So, keep thriving with me. If this video was beneficial, throw a thumbs up, share if possible, comment if necessary, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for thriving with me.